The year is 1985. You're sitting in your living room, jamming to some tunes on the radio, when a song comes on that you really like. So you run down to the record store and you buy that album made by the band that made the song that you really like. And before long, you know everything about this band. You're obsessed. This band is your favorite band. Because that's the way it was in 1985. Flash forward to 2015. You're sitting in your living room, jamming to some tunes on the radio, when you hear a song that you really like. So you pull out your iPhone, hit the Shazam button, and within seconds your phone listens to the song and tells you exactly what song it is. You go to Spotify, and you have access to that song an unlimited amount of times, without knowing a thing about the album or the artist that made the song. As that's the way it is now. It's all about free music. But I'm going to discuss today why music should not be free. I'll discuss why music streaming websites like Spotify and Pandora Radio, who have a combined user base of almost 150 million and growing, are actually more detrimental to the music industry than they are helpful. I'll bring in testimony as well as statistics from different artists to show why music should be bought, not streamed. Today I'm going to pick on Spotify because it will soon overtake Pandora Radio as the world's largest and most heavily trafficked music streaming website in the world. Spotify is basically the Facebook of music. It connects users instantly to over 30 million of the world's recorded songs and adds 28,000 of these songs every day. It has a user base of 60 million users in 58 countries. It's instant and it's global. The Guardian, a Pulitzer Prize-winning UK publication, said in an article that Bono, the frontman of the band U2, supports Spotify. Bono said, quote, "I'm a spoiled rock star. I'm the wrong spokesperson for this, but I have to tell you, if I was starting a band right now, age 17 or 18, I'd be very excited." And he's right. It is very exciting to have your music played instantly by millions of people. It's an innovative idea and it's never been done before. And I personally would be lying if I said Spotify hadn't changed my life for the better. But after a year or so, the novelty wore off and I began to think, I shouldn't be allowed to have this much access to the unlimited music that I want. How do the artists get paid? I did a little bit of research on this, and it turns out this is a very heated debate. According to Spotify CEO and co-founder Daniel Ek, his company raises revenue in two ways. The free subscription, where you don't pay a thing but you have to listen to advertisements. Or the paid subscription, where you pay $10 a month to get unlimited access with no advertisements and a downloadable app. Combined, this creates the bulk of Spotify's revenue, which Daniel Ek says Spotify only keeps 30% of and gives 70% back to its constituents. The 70% has generated roughly $2 billion over the last 9 years or so. And he says that Spotify cuts down and almost reverses piracy rates among downloaded music. I dug deeper than this, so I found the formula that Spotify uses to calculate these royalties. It turns out that when all is said and done and the contracts are negotiated and money is divided up between Spotify, the labels, the artists, the songwriters, that the artist takes home per play a little more than half a cent. Let me say that again. Every time a song is pressed play, an artist can take home roughly half a penny. That is by far lower than any rate possible, and it is impossible to live on. So for a company that claims they're cutting down and reversing piracy, it seems pretty criminal to me. David Byrne, of the band Talking Heads, said in an article by Rolling Stone, one of the leading music publications in our country, that for a band of four members would need a song with hits up to 236,549,020 plays on Spotify to generate a revenue of $15,080 per band member. To put it in perspective, a hit with 236 million views is comparable to that of Katy Perry, who recently had the honor of performing at last year's Super Bowl. So for a hit that big, to generate only $15,000 per band member is unheard of. Perhaps more ridiculous is the case of Aloe Blacc, who wrote an op-ed in Wired magazine about his compensation on Pandora Radio. He said, quote, "The abhorrently low rates songwriters are paid from streaming services enabled by outdated federal regulations are yet another indication our work is being devalued in today's marketplace. Consider the fact it takes roughly 1 million spins on Pandora for a songwriter to earn just $90, end quote. Aloe Blacc, for most of you who know or don't know, co-wrote and sang on Avicii's Wake Me Up, which not only topped Spotify's charts, but placed 13th overall in Pandora's most played list, getting over 170 million hits on Pandora. For co-writing and singing, he earned $4,000. That's it. These rates are what drove Taylor Swift, one of the biggest icons of the century, to yank her music from Spotify in July of 2014. She wrote an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal, which is the leading business and financial publication in our country, as to why she did this. She said, quote, "Music is art. Art is important and rare. Important, rare things are valuable, and valuable things should be paid for. It's my opinion that music should not be free, and is my prediction that individual artists and their labels will someday decide on what an album's price point is. I hope they don't underestimate themselves or undervalue their art," end quote. She has a point, doesn't she? Music is art, and you're not allowed to walk into an art gallery and start taking pictures of the art. So why should you be able to listen to music for free? Of course, this issue is far more complex and broad than anything that I could have summarized today, but the message is simple. Our artists are being extremely undercompensated for the work that they're doing, and this needs to change. My generation is a generation that believes that social change can arise from nothing more than a YouTube video and a hashtag. But ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to go beyond the hashtag. Music is the greatest gift to humanity and is relevant every single day of our lives. So if the people who are making that music are undervalued and undercompensated, then there's no incentive for them to continue making it. And a loss for them is a loss for all of us. So I urge every single one of you to go out and buy music. Go support your record store. Go support iTunes. Buy music. Don't stream it. Make sure the artists know that you care. It's time for us to take back the music industry. It's time for us to reconnect to our music, to reconnect to the bands, and most importantly, to rediscover how music can give us love and life the way it did back in 1985.